I am going to model for you how to use your I can do strategies in order to read the passage and answer the questions. So, first we investigate the passage, and when we look at the passage, it looks like something about zebras. There is a picture of zebras either drinking or eating, and I see the word zebras a lot repeated in the text. Next, we circle our title. We do not have a title, so we'll move on to analyze the questions. So this is where we get our highlighter and we look for those key words. Now with these questions, it helps us by telling us what reading strategy we are going to be using in bold above the question. So that will help you determine what you need to think about to answer the question. So number one is main idea. This article tells mainly about, so remember, main idea, we're looking for repeated words. Number two, which of these is most important to a zebra's protection from a predator? When do zebras develop their stripe patterns? What happens when zebras are in tight groups? So when they're close together, what happens? In the article, the stripes of a zebra are compared to, and because it says in the article, we know we can go back in the text and find that answer. Number 6, what will most likely happen if zebras continue to have difficulty finding food and water? So what will most likely happen? Here you're predicting. So use your background knowledge. What do you already know would happen if animals do not get food and water? Number 7, which of these is the best meaning of the word camouflage? You also have background and knowledge about this word from science, camouflage. Number 8, from the article, you can conclude that. So when it says you can conclude that, all it is asking you is to make an inference. Number 9, which of these expresses a fact? So something that is true, not what somebody thinks, feels, or believes. Number 10, this article was written mainly to, so here we're identifying the author's purpose. Why did the author write this article? Number 11, which sentence contains a simile? So now we're going to stop and think, well, what is a simile? Well, a simile compares two things using the words like or as. And number 12, what is a good summary of the article? So remember, when you are thinking about the summary, it is not just the first detail in the first paragraph. It includes the main ideas of the beginning, the middle, and the end. Okay, so we have analyzed the questions. Our next step is now read. Zebras live in the grasslands of Africa. These members of the horse family are probably best known for their distinctive stripes and black and white coloring. When zebras are born, they are brownish, black and white. As they grow, they develop their stripe pattern. No one knows for certain why zebras have stripes. Zoologists have several theories, though. They believe the stripes offer zebras protection from predators in at least 2 ways. So I'm going to stop and make a reader's note. This is about zebras' stripes and different theories and why they have them. Okay. Zebras spend most of their time eating in the grasslands. They eat all the tall grass as well as bark, leaves, buds, fruits, and roots. Zoologists believe that their stripes act as camouflage while they are moving about the grassland. I do remember a question about camouflage, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. This theory might not seem to make sense at first. After all, a zebra's stripes stick out like a sore thumb. But consider that the zebra's main predator, the lion, is colorblind. Then consider the wavy lines of a zebra's stripes. These wavy lines blend in with the tall grass. It's not the color of the zebra's stripes that protects it, but the pattern of the stripes. A zebra grazing in the grasslands can be completely overlooked by a lion. I do remember a question about something about a predator, so I'm going to highlight that word. And I'm going to stop again and make a reader's note about this information that we just read. So here it talks about what zebras eat, their camouflage, and it talks about predators and lions being colorblind. Another means of protection has to do with their herds. Zebras usually travel in large groups in which they stay close. In tight groups, I'm going to stop right there. There was a question about tight groups. The pattern of each zebra's stripes blends in with the stripes of the zebras around it. This is confusing to a predator. All it sees is a large moving striped mass. A lion has trouble singling out one zebra. So this is talking about their herds, tight groups, how they stay close, and they use that as a form of protection. Because as it says in the bottom, to the predator, all it sees is a large striped mass. The lion can't single out the one zebra. While a zebra's stripes may be indistinguishable to other animals, they help zebras recognize each other. Stripe patterns are like fingerprints. No two patterns are alike. Zoologists believe this is how zebras keep their herds together. Zebras can tell which zebras belong to their herd and which do not by their stripe patterns. A zebra mare and her foal can also keep track of each other in the large herd. Stripe patterns are helpful to zoologists as well. Stripe patterns help them track particular zebras in the wild so they can study their behavior. Well, that was interesting. So here we learn that the zebra's stripes are used to recognize each other, but other animals cannot. Today, zebras face an uncertain future in the wild. Many are hunted by humans for their meat and hide. The hunting of zebras must be stopped. Zebras are also at risk because food and water supplies are shrinking. They must fight with farmers for grazing land and water. One species of zebra, the quagga, has already died out. Humans must make sure this does not happen again. And this last paragraph was really about the impact of humans. The humans' impact on zebras, because we hunt them, so that reduces the numbers. And they are at risk of food and water supplies. There was a question about what do you think would happen if they didn't have enough food and water? So I'm going to highlight that. Okay, we have read. Now we do the questions. So let's look at the questions. What is this article mainly about? So we know it's about zebras, but what about zebras? So let's go back. Let's look at our reader's note. Zebra stripes, what they eat, staying close together, their stripes. And it talked about why do they stay close together? For protection. They use their stripes. Which of these is most important to a zebra's protection from a predator? The wavy lines blend in with the tall grass. It's not the color of the zebra stripes that protect it, but the pattern of the stripes. When do zebras develop their stripe patterns? As they grow, they develop their stripe pattern. What happens when zebras are in tight groups? The pattern of each zebra's stripes blends in with the stripes of the zebras around it. This is confusing, and a lion has trouble singling out one zebra. In the article, the stripes of a zebra are compared to bark, horses, grasslands, or fingerprints. I remember in the text, it says stripe patterns are like fingerprints. What will most likely happen if zebras continue to have difficulty finding food and water? Well, if food and water supplies are shrinking, what happened to one species of zebra? Number 7, which of these is the best meaning of the word camouflage? So remember, take these choices and go plug them in. Zoologists believe their stripes act as camouflage while they are moving about the grassland. So now think about how they use their stripes when they're hiding from their predators. Number 8, from the article, what can we conclude? Zebras do not eat meat. Zebras are found all over Africa. Zebras are colorblind. Zebras look alike even to each other. Well, I do know that it said that zebras are able to tell each other apart. The lions are colorblind. Yes, zebras may be found in parts of Africa. I would not say all over. But in the article, it did mention what they eat. They eat grass, bark, leaves, buds, fruits, and roots. So I can conclude or infer that zebras do not eat meat. Which one of these is a fact? So something that is true. This one is true. It is a fact. It is something that happens. What was the author's purpose for writing this article? So think, it gave us information about zebra stripes. So describe the different kinds of stripes, explain theories about a zebra stripes. Let's look back in the text. It did talk about zoologists having several theories and how the zebras used their stripes to protect them in at least 2 different ways. Which sentence contains a simile? So which one compares 2 things using the words like or as? Well, A does not have like or as. Stripes act as camouflage. Stripes stick out like a sore thumb, or they eat the tall grass as well as bark. So it's comparing something to something else using the word like or as. Stripes stick out like a sore thumb. Yes. And number 12, what is a good summary of the article? So the beginning, the middle, and the end. So when we look at our reader's notes, the stripes, the predators, the herds, recognizing each other, and then the human impact. Zebras are known for their distinctive stripes and coloring and live in herds. Zebras are found in the grasslands of Africa and are members of the horse family. Now, B was in the text, but it was not what the whole thing was about. Zebras are hunted by both animals and humans and must be protected. No one knows for sure why a zebra has stripes, but zoologists believe they offer important protection. The article did talk about zoologists' theories and a zebra's stripes.